Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
And Gaynor.
Okay, two of us here today, Gaynor.
Yes.
Aiden's busy editing, getting stuff ready to go out.
Yeah.
Top 10 most disturbing songs because of what we know now.
I'm sure there's a lot of songs.
See, that's Juice WRLD there.
Yeah.
I was actually in a car going down to, in a little van going down to Wembley at weekend, and they were taking turns to put music on. And I was with a guy who was into R&B. I had another young lad like Aiden who was into all these like rap, sort of like R&B, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I put on Juice. My choice was Juice WRLD.
Right.
Yeah, quite a lot. I do like Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
It's very sad what happened, and I was telling, kind of giving a little bit of a background to the other people that were in the car who'd never heard of him, but really liked his music. And then Aiden has, yeah. Talking about the other two guys that were in there. But top 10 most disturbing songs because of what we know now. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for pieces of music that, in light of dark events that occurred after their release, now induce chills. Number 10, Bump and Grind, R. Kelly.
My body's telling me yes.
Any song that begins with those lyrics would be considered to have aged like milk. However, when you take into account singer Kelly's literal decades of misconduct allegations, the lyrics to Bump and Grind...
Proper wrong on money.
He was, but we watched the Gary Glitter thing last night, didn't we? And when you look at some of the songs that he did, you're like,
I know. Yeah.
And even like on the interview, they spoke to some of the women that interviewed him, and they said like, did you make you feel creepy, and he went, no, because he wasn't into women, he was into kids.
Yeah. This guy got put in jail not long ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's doing a long stretch, I think.
Yeah.
Take on an entirely new context that would churn the stomach of even the most hardened listener.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
Originally acquitted in 2008 of misconduct charges involving minors, Kelly was sentenced to 31 years in prison following convictions in 2021 and 23. Kelly's self-admitted inability to control his inhibitions on Bump and Grind now leaves listeners hitting skip.
Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You're killing me, man. This is not about music.
After the premiere of Surviving R. Kelly in 2019, Lady Gaga scrubbed a version of her 2013 hit, Do You Want, that featured Kelly from streaming services. Good call. Number 9, I Took a Pill in Ibiza, Mike Posner.
I took a pill in Ibiza to show Avicii I was cool.
Posner's tropical dance floor anthem is already a deceptively dark song. Its shockingly blunt lyrics find the Cooler Than Me singer lamenting on the hollow nature of fame and the stark realization that money and material possessions won't make you happy.
That's what I Took a Pill in Ibiza is about. I say I'm just a singer who already blew his shot. I get along with old timers because my name's a reminder of a pop song people forgot.
The song's chorus, however, is where things really start to become eerie. It name drops the late producer Avicii, and according to Posner, refers to a real-life incident in which he follows the Swedish DJ to the titular island and succumbed to peer pressure. Tragically, Avicii, born Tim Bergling, took his own life in 2018, reportedly following years-long struggles with addiction. Knowing that turns a cautionary tale into an uneasy, unintentional tribute.
Point being, he never cared, unlike almost everybody in the music industry, he never cared if I was number one or number a million.
Number 8, 2009, Mac.
I didn't know much about that Mike Posner one.
No.
The only song I know of is Cooler Than Me. What was it called? Yeah, it's the only one I know. I didn't know that.
No.
Miller.
I ain't asking why no more. Oh no, I take it if it's mine. I don't stay inside the lines. It ain't.
Hip-hop fans were hit hard in September 2018 when Pittsburgh native Miller, born Malcolm McCormick, passed away from a drug overdose. Those same fans were also quick to point out that Miller had never shied away from addressing themes of addiction and depression in his music. In particular, they looked to 2009, the penultimate song on his 2018 album, Swimming. Miller's last before 2020's posthumous Circles.
I was digging me a hole, big enough to bury my soul. Weight of the world, I gotta carry my own.
The song alludes to Miller's difficulty with his rapid rise to fame. The title is a reference to the release year of his first mixtapes. Over a gentle, twinkling beat, Miller rap sings about using to ease his pain, and most heartbreakingly of all, argues that an angel's supposed to fly.
He saved me in many ways that I couldn't save myself. He helped me with my depression, my anxieties.
Number 7, I Need a...
When you look at Mac Miller, people like that, the rise to the top is very quick, and that's what they get to there. You're struggling with his rise to the top. But when I talk about this all the time with people about, we know quite a lot of sports people, and their rise to the top is good. It's great. They go up, bam, 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 and they get money, and they get fame, and they get noticed in the streets or in the restaurants or in the bars, wherever they go. They get noticed all the time. Pretty girls hanging around. They get entourage sort of like stuck around them, and as soon as that goes away, the fall from the top is steep and fast. And I speak to some of them now where it's like, I go, "What are you doing now?" And they go, "Nothing." And they're not smart enough. Some of them, they've not educated themselves while they're on the rise. And they're on the fall so fast. And I'm just like, man, but. And you try and sort of like you try and put your arm around some of them. Some of them just they still think they're it. They still think that's me. That's the world I live in. I go, it's not, mate. You passed it. You finished with it. You got to move on to new things and new beginnings. Some of them do. Some of them get by. But one of them was sat next to us in the bar last week, and I was like, I know what your troubles are.
Yeah. Well, I was speaking to somebody today, and her partner at the time was a footballer. He was a professional footballer, and then he was dropped, and he had no education because he'd been practicing all his life to be a footballer. That's all they want to be, yeah. They
put everything into it.
Yeah. And then and he's got nothing at all now.
Problem you got with these, a lot of people tell them bullshit that they believe.
Yeah.
And they sort of the next thing, they're popping the pills or they're doing crazy shit and they just try and get their head back into gear where they before. Yeah. Well, everything they fought for and everything they worked towards, they've got, but it's not where they want to be.
Yeah. Well, we watched the Robbie Williams thing, didn't we?
Yeah.
It just shows how you think somebody's life's perfect and it's far from it.
That's right. Oh, here we go. This
Girl Part 2, P. Diddy.
Potential wife credentials. Know about the life I'm into, life I've been through, and how I had a trifling mental.
Not unlike Bump and Grind, the lyrics to the sequel to I Need a Girl Part 1 probably elicited cringe from listeners at the time. In this case, the year 2002. Written and co-produced by Sean P. Diddy Combs himself, the song raises eyebrows more than once. Did Puffy just compare the love of his life to a brother? And for that matter, why are these brothers doing that? The chorus will definitely make you wince, too. While I Need a Girl, the second, was already uncomfortable enough, that feeling doubled after Combs was hit with multiple misconduct and assault lawsuits at the end of 2023.
Combs is the subject of a federal investigation following a wave of lawsuits that have been filed against him.
Number 6, That'll Be the Day, Buddy Holly. February 3rd, 1959 is known as the day the music died for a reason. That was the day the three rock and roll legends met a tragic and storied end when their plane crashed in Iowa. They were Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper J.P. Richardson.
The locals in the town were sitting around a black and white TV in the lobby, and they said, 3 rock and roll artists die in plane crash. And it was all over the news.
The man born Charles Hardin Holly had only relatively recently made his major label breakthrough album, That'll Be the Day. That album's title track was a massive hit within the final year of Holly's life.
You say you're gonna leave, you know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die.
Its chorus, detailing Holly's confidence that his relationship will never end, became tragically ironic following that plane
Very
crash,
young as well.
when in reality his wife, Maria Elena, was widowed.
I knew that if I would have been there, but it would have not taken the plane because I would have put my foot down and said no.
Number 5, New Dawn Fades, Joy Division.
One of my favourite bands.
Yeah, I know.
One of the literal progenitors of the gothic rock subgenre, it goes without saying that Joy Division songs are already pretty spooky to begin with. Singer Ian Curtis, plagued by mental health and substance use disorder issues, took his own life on the 18th of May in 1980, aged only 23. Curtis's songwriting tackled these topics head-on, and this is no more apparent than on New Dawn Fades. Over a plodding drum beat that supports a fuzzy Black Sabbath-tinged guitar riff, Curtis bears his soul about his total hopelessness in that unique baritone. Number 4, Legends, Juice WRLD.
I usually have an answer to the question, but this time I'm gonna be quiet. This time.
Jared Higgins, better known to the general public.
What a voice he had.
I know.
Just absolutely amazing.
I know.
He's just one of them guys in that genre of music which he was doing was just like, it's same with Ian Curtis when you go back to Ian Curtis. People go on about Manchester music and all that. I think Ian Curtis was the man behind it all.
Yeah.
Forget anyone else. Forget, people talk about the Stone Roses and Happy Mondays.
Oasis.
Ian Curtis and New Order were way behind it before them lot.
As Juice WRLD was plagued by similar issues to Mac Miller. Higgins, a major proponent of the 2010s emo rap scene, was perhaps even more unflinchingly honest about his substance use problem. A not so insignificant portion of his discography is devoted to this very topic. Legends, which appears on the artist's 2018 EP Too Soon, as well as his posthumous 2021 album Fighting Demons, makes chilling predictions to this effect. This is especially haunting when you consider that Higgins died in 2019 at the age of 21, exactly as the chorus of this song anticipates.
Was it 27 club? We ain't making it past 21.
Number 3, Rehab, Amy Winehouse.
Tried to make me go to rehab. I said no, no, no.
Amy Winehouse's once-in-a-lifetime talent was grounded in her attitude, her unwillingness to be anything but authentically herself. That meant writing songs that drew extensively from her tumultuous personal life, which was the subject of mass media coverage and public scrutiny in the 2000s. So much so that her first album was entitled simply Frank. The release of her second album, Back to Black, was preceded by the single Rehab, produced by Mark Ronson.
The man said, why you think you hit?
The upbeat Motown-inspired tune, in Winehouse's characteristically uncompromising manner, details the artist's refusal to give in to the demands of those around her. The British Songbird's 2011 passing, induced by alcohol poisoning, permanently lent Rehab an unsettling double meaning. Add Back to Black's title song for an extra dose of spookiness.
We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times.
No.
Another one that's like talent, like
just
way beyond the years, and just it's a shame, it's sad what happened. When you look at some of these, it's just like I say, for me, Ian Curtis was one of my favourite bands, New Order. They carried on with Barney Sumner, but when you look at like Amy Winehouse, Juice WRLD, I guess we're going to look at Nirvana now. I guess this is, but it's just incredible, isn't it?
Number 2, Come As You Are, Nirvana.
Come as you are, as you were.
It's no secret that Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain was a master of dark, unsettling songwriting. In fact, there were multiple examples that stood out to us. In particular, I Hate Myself and Want to Die, the title of which clashes with its irreverent, seemingly unrelated lyrics.
Running doesn't run a yoke. Even if you have a cold still.
Come As You Are adopts a similar tone, but takes on even more layers following Cobain's untimely end in 1994. Specifically, the song's verses consist of contradictory commands, and its bridge is Cobain declaring that he doesn't have a gun. Anyone with even a cursory knowledge of Nirvana's backstory can tell you precisely why this gives them goosebumps. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Leaving on a Jet Plane, John Denver, foreshadows the way Denver met his end in 1997.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again.
Pretty Noose, Soundgarden, same as John Denver, but for Chris Cornell in 2017.
Voice.
My Ding-a-Ling, Chuck Berry. A fairly creepy song even before considering Berry's numerous misconduct scandals.
Oh, my ding-a-ling, I want you to hang with my ding-a-ling. Sing!
Time in a Bottle, Jim Croce. Croce's final number one before his untimely passing is about not having enough time.
But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do once you find them.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Look at Your Game Girl, Charles Manson.
Ah, those feelings real. Look at your game, girl.
You probably already have a pretty good idea as to how this song ended up on our list. Music producer Phil Kaufman met Charles Manson while the two were imprisoned at the same facility. The two became friends, and Kaufman later recorded Manson's debut album, Lie, the Love and Terror Cult, through 1967 into 68.
He used to call me occasionally, and the last time he called me, he was rambling on, and I said, Charlie, the difference between you and I is that you're doing life and I'm living it.
Among those songs was Look at Your Game Girl, an innocuous, simplistic folk song on the surface. Its lyrics have been re-examined in the wake of Manson's infamous 1969 crime spree.
What a mad delusion.
Didn't even know he did an album, did you?
I didn't know. No.
In its review of the album, AllMusic described the song as embodying his fundamental approach to influencing young women by targeting their socially imposed hang-ups. Suddenly, Look at Your Game Girl isn't so innocuous.
Hope I haven't offended him. Those murderers are so, they're so touchy.
Which songs do you have a hard time listening to?
There's some good ones there to highlight there, because it's like you say, it's a lot that I didn't know, that songs they've written or songs they've performed.
Yeah.
So like related to John Denver, for example.
Yeah.
Now I think about, I never even thought of it.
The thing is, as well, I think a lot of songwriters, you have to have a certain brain to be able to do that, and it's therapeutic for them to put it on paper and sing it.
Yeah, that's the talent, isn't it? And a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people do take drugs to broaden their imagination when they're songwriting or performing and stuff like that as well. So it can lead to sort of like other things.
Yeah.
But some of the talents that we've lost over the years, like Amy
crazy.
Winehouse and people like that, is just crazy. But interesting video though, right?
Very interesting. Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one.
Bye.
Cheers.